gentlemen,
how you
welcome
doing?
to the very first Philly Pod with Dave and Mike.
Yes.
We're your hosts, Dave.
I'm Michael.
My partner in crime here, Mike, and welcome to the Philly Pod.
Yes, first ever Philly Pod.
First one. So, we know you guys don't really know much about us, so, we have a whole list of stuff we want to talk about here.
Yeah.
But first off, we're just going to give you a little general information about yourselves.
Yeah.
Well, not about you. We're going to do about us.
Yeah.
You can tell us all about yourselves later when we're a big
Yes.
hit. So, we're both Philly sports fans. We live about a block away from each other. We're about two of the most passionate, crazy nutjob Philly fans that you'll meet. But we're passionate about our sports, and it's our lives, really.
Yeah, we're also realistic when it comes to Philly sports.
Well, absolutely, yeah. And we are passionate. It may say we're a little crazy, but one thing we're definitely going to do with the show is we're going to keep it real.
Yes.
At all times. So, we're big Phillies, Flyers, Sixers fans.
Yes.
Eagles as well. Although it's a tough time to be an Eagles fan, which we're going to dive into. And even maybe a little soul,
Yeah.
They kind of have
They got the Arena Bowl coming up.
Yes, they do. They do have a little Arena Bowl coming up.
Yes.
So, but basically, what we are trying to do with this show, it's going to be a once-a-week podcast, obviously, about Philly sports.
Yes.
And what our goal, number one, we want to inform you. We want to inform the public of Philadelphia sports, news that's happening in Philadelphia sports.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also trying to bring a podcast that brings fresh views to the table.
Yes.
All right? We're going to have, like we said, we're going to have our debates. We're going to have some lively opinions, lively discussions, and we're going to try to do it in an entertaining style. Because we know, the workday, we all know, can be a bit of a drag sometimes.
And we're gonna be we're not gonna do it in a way that we don't get overheated. We respect each other's opinions.
Well, there's probably
a little bit
from time to time,
but not over the top.
No, definitely not. But like we said earlier, Mike mentioned one thing we're gonna do. We're gonna keep it real here. If we think one of the Phillies teams sucks, we're gonna tell you.
Honest.
Yeah, we're gonna tell you that they suck. This isn't gonna be a pep rally station.
Yeah, no.
If
you're looking for that, look for another podcast because this is not it.
No, this is not going to be the one for you. So just a general outline, and then we're going to really dig right into it here. What we talk about from week to week is really going to depend on what
the hot topic.
Yeah, the hot
for
topics,
that week.
Right, and what we feel the Philly fans want to hear. Sure.
For example, right now we got training camp going on, so that's going to be the main focus. Of course, the past game against the Bucks, we're going to break that down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's something that pops up in the middle of the podcast, we'll be the first to bring it to you.
Well, speaking of, while you're on that note, we do have breaking news to report here on the Philly Pod. The Eagles have just made a trade with the Tennessee Titans.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles have acquired wide receiver Dorial Green Beckham from the Tennessee Titans in exchange for tackle Dennis Kelly. And we were actually at Speed Raceway in Horsham when we saw this trade break, and immediately we had some pretty strong opinions about it.
Yes. It caught me off guard because the line is one of our weak points going into training camp, and they gave away, a potential O-line replacement for a wide receiver that really didn't impress last year. But I think that the timing of this was off.
How so? How's timing off?
I think when you get in the training camp, I mean, obviously in the first week, so you're after the first week of training camp, or the first game, I should say. Mm-hmm. So obviously, he's going to be behind the eight ball. He's got to learn a new system, get familiar with the quarterback, the head coach, offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach. Mm-hmm. So there's a ton of stuff that goes into it. But I guess if you're going to make a trade, you may as well do it now rather than in week 4 of training camp.
So you do not think this is a good deal?
No.
Okay. I'm of the opinion. I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't. I understand. Well, here's what I'll say to start. I understand the thought process behind what the Eagles are trying to do. They clearly see that they have a glaring hole, a glaring need at wide receiver.
And I would agree with that.
Especially if Jordan Matthews is not going to be healthy to start the year.
Right.
All indications are that he will and that he is going to be healthy to start the season. But if not, they've got a huge hole.
Yes.
So I understand what they were trying to do because it looks clear like Nelson Aguilar does not have what it takes.
Right.
Nor does Josh Huff. Nor does Ruben Randall.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're going to be in a pretty big hole there to start the season. But trading for who was this guy Green Beckham? He was the number 1 draft pick, or excuse me, number 2.
It was
round
second round draft pick, 40th overall.
Right, last year for the Titans.
Yes.
And you're trading for a guy who has had focus and commitment issues during his first 2 years in the league.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the Eagles are thinking this is going to be a change, maybe a change in environment will help him out. But to me, it speaks waves about the guy. It speaks volumes about the guy.
That the Titans weren't impressed and that they wanted to get rid of him.
Well, that the Titans traded one of their top draft picks. Remember, this is the second guy they took in that draft after Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
That they trade him after 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year, and they were done with him. So what kind of player are the Eagles really getting? So when you look at it from the sense, you can be like, all right, well, they got rid of Dennis Kelly. Yeah, Dennis Kelly sucks. Yeah. But you know what? So it's the rest of the offensive line.
Yeah,
and if the offensive line can't block and get your receivers the football, then what does this trade essentially do for you?
That O-line needs all the help it can get right now. That O-line needs all the help it can get, and you just traded away one of those pieces.
Yeah, but he wasn't a piece. He stunk. Dennis Kelly couldn't block.
All right, a backup piece.
But even that, he's probably going to be a starter. The way things are looking. But even so, he's out of here.
Yep.
It's an irrelevant discussion at this point.
Yeah.
I don't really see the Eagles as being much better at wide receiver. Maybe you could say they have. I don't even think you could say they have more depth.
No,
because now you just mentioned it. You have a guy coming in. We're in the second week of the preseason.
Yeah,
and he has to learn a whole new playbook, get familiar with the new quarterbacks, has to get his timing down with Bradford, get his communication down with the coaches, with the quarterbacks, with his teammates.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on here. I see what they were trying to do, but I don't really see this.
If anything, it gives you another target to increase in the competition, but that's all you can really do at this point is look at it from that standpoint and that standpoint
it essentially does nothing. This trade essentially does nothing for them.
Nope. And there are better wide receivers out there that they probably could have gone after, but
like who? We got nothing.
Yeah.
So you gonna rip him? You gonna rip him saying they could get a better receiver and you got nobody?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Man. Well.
I know it's coming. Do it.
Well. Anyway, that was not a really great deal for the Eagles. But hey, maybe we could be wrong. Maybe maybe it'll work.
Strike
out.
lightning.
I don't think so. But in any event, we're going to move on here. So one of the things that we wanted to hit on today, because this is our first broadcast, we didn't broadcast all throughout the offseason. So really quick, we just wanted to hit on our thoughts and our reactions to this Eagles offseason, which is pretty much a pretty whirlwind of an offseason considering all the news that happened. So I'm going to turn it over to my buddy Mike here.
For starters, let's go to the hiring of Peterson. He wasn't exactly a guy that a lot of people had on their radar. To me, it looked like ownership was just trying to recreate the Andy Reid era. And
fair point.
Doing that, you're kind of now. Obviously, if he does better with game management and time management, obviously it's going to be a little different. But other than that, you got a guy that was Andy Reid's protege. He's already had one stint in Philadelphia as a quarterback. So it really, what are you doing? What's the message here that you're trying to send? That you're just going to, recycle possibly old material? Now, obviously, if Peterson has his own ideas, that's fine. That's fine and good. But don't tell me that you're going to bring one of Andy Reid's guys back and expect the same results, because you got a different team right now. You got a different team, different coordinators. You're coming off of a coach that blew up what you had and replaced it with trash.
So you're not a fan of you definitely weren't a fan of the Doug Peterson hiring.
Nah, I was expecting maybe a little more excitement.
Nor was I. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think they just stuck with. I think Jeffrey Lurie stuck with what he was comfortable with.
Yeah.
And that's Andy Reid.
Yep.
And he found the closest thing to Andy Reid that he could.
Now, obviously, it's his first year, so things are going to be rough. But who knows? Maybe he'll recreate some of that magic. But
well, we'll see.
Yeah.
You can see the thought. You can understand the thought process where they were coming from, but you would have liked to see them branch out a little bit. So you weren't a fan of the Doug Peterson hire, nor was I. Were you a fan of the trade to go up and get Carson Wentz? You hesitate.
No.
You hesitate.
No.
Wow.
No.
Why?
Because you had holes that needed attention, and instead of going after those needs, you went for a quarterback who played in a subdivision, NCAA subdivision, which I don't. It's a different level. It's a different level. Now this isn't a lash on Carson Wentz. Don't get me wrong, but to go out and make a trade to make a trade on QBs, a QB that you weren't exactly sure about, and then
they were pretty sure. I mean, they gave up a lot to move up to the number 2 pick. But let me ask you this: if you are that sure, we have this discussion all the time.
Yeah.
What's the most important position in all sports?
Quarterback.
Right. So if you are that certain that Carson Wentz is your guy, and he's the guy you're going to build the future, build your franchise around,
yes,
shouldn't you go up and get him then?
Not when you have other holes, more important holes.
Well, what's more important than the quarterback?
Well, for example, you have the offensive O-line that needs help. I mean, Bradford can't. If you can't keep one quarterback up, who's to say you can't keep?
Well, the offensive line they're depleted there. And, the fact that they haven't drafted an offensive lineman, I think it's 3 years now, it's killed them.
Yeah,
it's killed them. But if you have the offensive line and you don't have a guy who can get the football to your playmakers, you can make competent decisions. Well, then where are you at?
I guess you're at 0.
Ask the New York Jets that, man.
Yeah.
They had Mark Sanchez there for those 2 years of that great defense.
Yeah.
But in any event, I was definitely a fan of the trade. I was a little worried about it at first when I heard they were going to get essentially a 1AA quarterback. I wasn't really sure how I felt, but watching him in the preseason game, which we're going to get to here in a minute, in that preseason game Thursday night, I'll tell you what, they, he had moments where he flashed some, I think, some potential where I think it justified them moving up in the draft to go get him. So I was a little excited to see that. But along the lines of that preseason game, the one thing we were all looking forward to this preseason and maybe this entire Eagles season
was Carson Wentz.
Was seeing Carson Wentz. And, you've all heard by now, came out, he suffered a hairline fracture to some of his ribs in that game Thursday, and now he probably won't play. Maybe the rest of the preseason. Yeah. There's a chance he might be able to come back for the final preseason game. And one of the things that I've heard is that people are somehow insinuating that this is Doug Peterson's fault, that Doug Peterson shouldn't have left him in the game that long. Now, to me, that idea is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you had some different thoughts on that one.
I think in part it was Doug Peterson's fault, only for the fact that you have a young guy getting his first NFL experience, and he gets hurt. So, obviously, I didn't see anything wrong with him. I didn't notice anything wrong.
Tough kid.
Yeah.
He played through it. And I couldn't tell.
I can't question his toughness, but if you as a coach, you got to know that it's a meaningless football game. The only thing it does for him really is get him in-game reps, which I guess for any rookie is important. But I guess along the line, you have to figure that, all right, he's shown me enough. Let's get him out, protect him, because he's our investment. Now, he's very fortunate that it wasn't anything worse, like an ACL, along the lines of an ACL or MCL, because you're gonna miss the whole season.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand that thought process. But if he got hurt his very first snap, and people say, "Oh, well, he should have been in the game behind that offensive line." then people are going to make that argument.
I see your point.
It's football, man. Injuries are going to happen. That's part of the game. Okay, maybe we should be looking at it this way. Maybe this is the way Carson Wentz had to learn that, you know what, in the NFL, you don't put your shoulders down and try to truck through people.
Yeah.
All right, you could get away doing that in North Dakota State.
Yeah.
But this is a different arena. This is a different ball game.
Yep.
All right, so I think it was a tough lesson for the kid to learn, but better to happen now in a completely meaningless opening preseason game than Game 5 next year when he's going to be playing when we really need him. So I think it's...
Not to mention, those first-string guys are a lot tougher than the guys that he was playing against.
Third stringers. Yeah, I mean, really, he was in the game against second and third stringers.
You know, you go up against J.J. Watt. That's not going to end pretty.
No. No, you definitely... you don't want to go taking J.J. Watt on heads up. Especially not if you're Carson Palmer. That is...
Carson Wentz.
I'm sorry, Carson Wentz. That is not... It's not going to end well for you.
Now, one thing I was impressed with, and I think he was able to slide. That's one thing he was able to do.
Yeah, that was great to see. That was great to see. It was actually great to see a quarterback with some mobility who had the awareness to go down and not take a hit. So that's why I was disappointed when I saw him. I understand it was a third down play. He wanted to go get the first down, but I was still a little disappointed that he would risk taking that hit in a preseason game.
Yeah.
But I love the toughness.
Yeah,
he's a tough kid. He's gritty. I think he's gonna. I think the fan base is really gonna love him.
Yeah, because that's what Philadelphia loves. They love a guy that's tough, can play through some sort of pain. Obviously, there's a difference between being tough and being stupid, but that's toughness right there.
And even just the way, man,
he looked poised too.
Oh, you hit the nail. It's just his presence, man. Like. Now, I was down at the game Thursday night scouting while someone else on this show was out recreationally bowling, but I digress.
Hey, they had the Eagles game on. I was watching a little bit of it.
What were you bowling with your head up at the screen?
No, when I wasn't my turn. I was looking up, watching the game.
I think you were hitting up that pizza stand they got there at Thunderbird Lanes.
Actually, I didn't eat pizza.
Oh, would you get hot dogs, pretzels?
I think I get some crab fries.
Yeah,
or baked fries.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
But anyway, but going down, when you saw him go on the field, you hit his poise. Like, there was, when he went in the game, he was on the field, in the huddle, when he was in that backfield, there was a noticeable difference in just his demeanor compared to Sam Bradford and compared to Chase Daniel. Like, he
looked confident.
He looked confident.
He looked confident.
In the pocket, like he had good pocket awareness. He could
his
feel
feet were
the
set.
rush.
His feet were set. He just looked like a seasoned veteran that knew what he had.
Yeah, I mean,
knew what he was doing.
He was high with some throws, but I almost, we know he's been missing. If you pay attention to what's been going on in camp, he's been having a lot of issues with that. But it's also his first game, so I chalked some of that up to a little nerves, a little jitters as well. But he looked good. He moves very well with the football. He feels the rush. He can evade. The throw where he had to step up he rolled out, stepped up through the pocket to avoid the rush and hit Zach Ertz about 15 yards down the field. That was a great play. Yeah, that was great to see.
And it showed maturity in a young guy. Now, obviously, there's going to be a little more of a growing process here, but I'm really excited to see what this kid does next year.
He's going to be fun to watch, but we mentioned there's just been really the one thing I think a lot of people were looking forward to with this Eagles team was seeing Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
And now we don't get to see that.
Yep.
So now I have to pose the question, with Carson Wentz out possibly for the rest of the preseason, what is it to look forward to for the Eagles right now?
The kicker battle. The kicker battle and seeing who makes the team and who doesn't make the team, because that buzz, that's out the window now.
Yeah, I think that if you're dependent on the kicker battle for buzz.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad news.
I had to crack that joke.
Yeah, but there's always Ben Simmons, Gossesphere, and the Flyers. But no, I mean, we're goofing around. But the truth is, there's not a lot of buzz for this Eagles season.
No. Maybe Fletcher Cox. I mean, he looked decent in the first preseason game.
Yeah, the D line looked good. We have a very good defensive line. All right, that we do. The interior defensive line is going to be strong. The whole D line as a unit is going to be set.
But that's really the only area that I see that this team actually has set. You could look at the running game, but Jordan Matthews can't stay. Or not Jordan Matthews, Ryan Matthews. Thank you.
Yeah.
He can't stay healthy.
Can't stay on the field.
No.
I mean, sure, he looked great for 2 plays. That
Yeah.
was 2 plays.
Yeah.
All he had to do was get 8 yards into the end zone.
Give me a better sample size of him, and then we'll talk.
I mean, with Ryan Matthews, you know what the sample size is. When he's on the field, he's productive.
Yes.
But he's never on the field.
Yeah, because he's
And
hurt.
who do they have behind him?
Darren
Kenyon
Sproles.
Bonner. I mean, Darren Sproles can't carry the ball 20
Smallwood.
times a game. Smallwood, I don't know about Wendell Smallwood. He's been hurt the last 3 weeks now, so we haven't been able to see him in camp in action.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's going to be able to contribute. Just there's a serious lack of depth at
A lot of the positions.
That's a lot of positions, especially at the skill position.
Yes.
Who do you have outside of Jordan Matthews?
Not.
Try receiver. Nobody.
No.
Who do you have outside of Ryan Matthews who can't stay on the field?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Maybe Darren Sproles, but he's over 30.
Yeah, was he 33 years old?
Yeah.
At some point, he's going to slow down. He's still the small, spry, change of pace guy.
Yeah.
Who can catch balls out of the backfield. But he's going on 34 years old now.
Yeah,
So you
too
can't
much
depend
tread
on
on
that.
too much tread on the tires.
But I think it's those things. I think that's the reason why there's just not a lot of hype for this Eagles year.
Because there's no one that really outside of Carson Wentz that really
There's
excites.
just nothing. I think we're a smart fan base here.
Yes.
All right. And contrary to the national views and the national opinions of the Philadelphia fan, we are a very intelligent sports
Yes.
fan. Okay. There are a couple of knuckleheads that give us bad reputations, but
But-
this is a very smart, passionate town.
Yes.
And we understand what's going on with their teams.
Yes.
And what's happened is I think people have realized that, hey, this Eagles team,
They're not good.
They're not good.
They're not good.
a
Plain and
bad
simple. Yep.
this is a bad team. This is the first time that I can think of in recent years where there's been
It's what, 1999 maybe?
maybe go back that far where there's been no buzz.
Yeah.
No buzz at all for
Yeah.
this Eagles team. I feel like, honestly, how I feel like I'm Bruce Wayne in The Dark Knight
Yes.
Rises. That scene after Bane just beats
Yeah.
crap out of me. My back's broken. I
Yeah.
got to stare up looking at the sky through the
Yes.
pit. I feel like I got no hope for this Eagles season,
Yeah.
man. All I want is I just want a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
We have it for the future, but this year is...
It's a complete wash, at least
it-
from that standpoint of the preseason, and it just looks like a complete wash.
Well, it's going to be a bad year for sure. I hope we're not turning some people off saying this, but we're
Yeah.
going to call it like it is. This is
Yeah.
not a good Eagles team.
We're a realistic show. If you're looking, again, like we said earlier, if you're looking for a more upbeat kind of show that will tell you lies, look elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at this team, I see anywhere from a 4 to 6 win team.
I would agree
Really
with that
at the
statement.
most. And
Maybe a 7 if they're lucky.
I mean, if they can get 7 wins with this roster constructed as it is, that's a heck of an accomplishment for this team.
Now, one thing I will say, and I'm excited to see this, the fact that Sam Bradford no longer has that leash on him in terms of Chip Kelly dictating what he can do and what he can't do.
When I heard that report, and it was confirmed that Chip Kelly did not let Sam Bradford audible at the line of scrimmage. I know this is old news, but
This isn't the college level. This is the NFL.
Dude, are you serious? Like, how can your quarterback not be able to change the play at the line?
Not to mention, it's not like he's a rookie. He's a veteran.
Unless Chip Kelly changes that, I don't care where he goes.
Yeah.
He's not going to win at this level.
No.
Doing that.
Nope.
Okay, he came in with a new scheme.
Yeah.
And then with the fast pace, and it caught NFL teams off guard.
Yes.
But the league does what it does to a lot of gimmicky
Adjusted.
systems.
It adjusted.
And they catch up.
Yes.
All right, and you saw during the 2015 season last year with the Eagles, the offense wasn't the same.
Not to mention,
They
you
caught
did it
up.
with a quarterback that isn't exactly the fastest guy out there.
That's the other thing I can't understand. Out in San Francisco, you know who the number one quarterback is on the
Blaine
Jets?
Gabbert?
Blaine Gabbert. Not Colin Kaepernick,
No.
who is an ideal fit for that system.
Now, I guess you could say that he's trying to catch teams off guard because you wouldn't expect a quarterback of that like him to run, but he's not exactly a fast quarterback. I'm
Fit.
surprised.
I just don't understand. He did the same thing here with Nick Foles
Yeah.
and Sam Bradford. He just had guys that didn't. It doesn't seem to fit what he wants to do.
Not to mention DeMarco Murray, who's more of a north-south runner than an east-west kind of guy.
That's a whole nother issue, which, by the way, if you saw him, Tennessee's first preseason game, looked pretty good. Ripped off a 71-yard touchdown run with some burst to it at the end of that run. He looked
rejuvenated.
He looked really good. He looked like a man, rejuvenated, who's found new life in Tennessee. But
I'll tell you what, though, I am looking forward to the fact that we are going to become a more of a north-south running team. Yeah, I saw it looked like a pro-style offense that.
Wasn't it nice to see? Wasn't it nice to see?
Not to mention the huddle. Yeah, the huddle, which unless we were up big, Chip Kelly never did. Even when we were up big,
I hated that they're all at the line. They're all standing there looking over the side. You just looked
dumb.
We just didn't look like an NFL team.
Yeah.
Now it worked. We won 20 games in the first two, but it just didn't look right. It didn't feel right, And now we weren't complaining about it at the time because we were winning, but by the end of the year, game week 17 last year, we'd had it.
Yeah.
We had it.
Not to mention, you think about all that fast-paced tempo. You're talking about pro guy, especially defensively. These guys are not in their 20s or late teens.
Well,
you're talking about grown men that need time to rest on the sideline. When you're running those up-tempo plays, you're wearing them out. And you could see it over the course, I think it was like
You're talking about like the Eagles defense.
Yes.
And it's funny you mentioned that because I was talking to a buddy of mine a couple of weeks ago. And, just shooting the breeze about the Birds. And he made the comment, he thinks the Eagles defense has a chance to be pretty good this year.
Yes.
Just for the main fact that they're not going to be on the field as much.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense.
Not to mention they were getting dominated at one point, giving up like 40 to 45 points in that game.
The offense was on the what we saw is that if you don't have scheme to go along with the fast pace, the fast pace doesn't work.
No.
So what happened was you had all those 3 and outs where the defense was just on the field.
Dinking and dunking, and it just didn't work.
Well, it didn't work. It had the defense coming off the field right after they had just given up a long touchdown drive. The offense goes 3 and out. The defense comes right back on the field. They were exhausted.
Yeah.
They were worn out. So it didn't work. But I hear people talking about, we have top 5 defense. We have top 5 defense this year to Jim Schwartz.
No.
I don't see that because how are you going to have a top 5 defense with this secondary?
Yeah.
Because if you watch the game Thursday night, the secondary is still going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, we still don't have corners that can cover. Maybe we have a little bit better safety with Rodney McLeod.
Yeah.
So safety play might be better. We don't have guys that can cover receivers.
No.
And we still don't know. We're the second week into the preseason. Who are the starting cornerbacks?
Couldn't tell you.
That's still an open competition. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem if you want to win games.
Yeah.
You have to have – you look back to how the Patriots won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Who'd they have on the outside? They had Darrelle Revis, Brandon Browner.
Yep.
2 shutdown corners.
Yep.
All right, and that makes it makes a huge difference. You could go back to the last 15 Super Bowl winners. I guarantee you they had at least one really good cover corner.
Yep.
And the Eagles don't have it. It's a fatal flaw.
Yep.
It's a fatal flaw for the Eagles right now. Compounded with the offensive line issues and the skill set issues.
And not to mention, we got the return of the wide 9.
Yeah, the wide 9. Yeah, I can tell you how that went the last time. Yeah, that was a total disaster last time that was here.
Yeah.
Man, but we're coming up down to the end here of our half an hour. So just closing, we got a couple of things we're looking forward to. We will be. I don't think we mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast. It's going to be once a week podcast, 30-minute segments.
Yes.
We'll broadcast usually in the beginning of the sports week so we can catch anything that
happened over that course of that
week. Anything that happened to the previous
outside
week.
Outside of the past podcast.
Yeah, so we were lucky we were able to get the Dorial Green Beckham trade today.
Yes.
But one thing we want to mention, we did say normally we're going to have a once-a-week show. If there's something huge that happens, then, we're going to throw out a second podcast during that week. But due to a fan request, we're going to be having a Philly Pod Fantasy Football Special this Friday. Okay, we're going to record Friday. We'll hopefully get it out Friday night, Saturday. If not Friday night, then definitely Saturday afternoon. But definitely check us out. We will be on YouTube. We will be on iTunes. We also have some other venues as well.
Yes.
We have a Facebook page that we are in the works of getting together.
Yes.
Through Mike here.
Yes.
So definitely check us out. Mike, any parting shots until next week?
I think I've covered everything that I need to cover.
What are you looking forward to? What do you want to see week 2?
Week 2, I want to see a little more of Sam Bradford.
That's a whole other issue we didn't hit on. But why he was only
I want to
in
see
the
how the defense does in its second week. I want to see.
They ain't going to do much.
Yeah,
It's not going to do much.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll get some sacks.
Well, you're playing against the Steelers too, who are a much better team than the Buccaneers are. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have a challenge there. I guess that I covered everything.
Well, for me, and there's nothing I'm going to see the team right now. I'm sorry. I wanted to see Carson Wentz again. I'm not going to get to see him. So, hopefully we get. Geez, I'm choking over here on my water. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe the offensive line won't be as bad. Maybe that's the main thing we can look forward to. But anyway, again, catch us out on YouTube. Catch us on iTunes. Check out our Facebook page. Yep. Give us some likes. Hit us up with any thoughts, any feedback. We'd love to hear what you guys think.
Yeah.
Anyway, Friday we'll be back with the Fantasy Football Special.
Yes.
We're signing off. I'm Dave.
I'm Mike.
We'll catch you guys on Friday. Fantasy Football.
Yeah.